Hi there. Welcome to my show. Welcome to Orly's Island. So, land your eyes on my land. It's right here. So this morning I was talking about doing a cooking show this afternoon, and I picked something that I think is very important for all of us right now with the way the situation is going on all over the world. Please, guys, we're at home. If you have time to focus on your health and nourishment and cooking, I'm gonna show you how to do a bone broth. Now, bone broth could be beef bones, it could be chicken bones, and it can also just be vegetables if you're not eating meat. However, today I've focused on chicken bones, and I roasted my chicken because when roasting your bones and your vegetables, I roasted onion. I roasted, just because I had it in the fridge, I roasted shallots. I roasted a whole head of garlic and carrots and celery, and I roasted these simply because it adds flavor. It adds depth to your broth. Now, bone broth isn't, go to the store, grab your powdered chicken broth, bouillon, your vegetable bouillon, beef bouillon. It's about getting the nourishment, the nutrients, and the health benefits from this broth. And when you boil, so this chicken is stuffed with lemon. I peeled lemon. Oh, it's upside down. You know why I roasted it upside down? It's because then all the juices run and your breast will not be dry. So this chicken has been stuffed, not with stuffing, it's not Christmas stuffing, it's stuffed with lemon. I peeled and chopped up some garlic and lemon and stuffed it into the cavity. And it offers so much flavor. I put lots of spices on the bird this morning, and then I roasted it. So what I want to tell you is I roasted it because when you roast and when you want to build a beautiful, healthy, nourishing bone broth, you want the bones to be roasted. Even if it's beef bones, you can roast them if they're raw and you got beef bones from the butcher. Can't say you're gonna find them now, but at least moving forward, then roast them. Put any herbs and spices to give it flavor of your own choosing, but roast them for 30 minutes at 350. What I did for my whole chicken is I added all kinds of herbs and spices that I like, and I put a beautiful herb choice and combination. It's called Oh Canada. Sorry, I am from Canada. I'm here in the United States, and I'm so happy. I'm US. I'm here to stay. But my Oh Canada spice is delicious. It has a lot of beautiful herbs and spice in the mix. I also put a lemon pepper mix. So you can do whatever. So what I am is all about making it your own. And I can give you a recipe, I can give you a roadmap. And I could say, this is the way it is, but I want you to learn that you can actually do it and focus on making it your own. So spice it the way you like. What do you like? Do you like curry? Do you like turmeric? Do you like salt and pepper only and simple? Do you like lemon pepper? Do you like garlic and herbs? It's all about choice. It's all about living outside the box. So this chickadee is ready now to go into my pot. I have a double boiler right here on my stove. And what I'm gonna do is take all the meat and the skin off this beautiful chicken, and all I'm gonna do is put every single bone into that pot to start creating my bone broth. And I'm gonna throw in all these beautiful vegetables, and in all reality, I could do it now. So I have cold filtered water. You can use your filtered water, spring water. Look, I even put the heart of the celery in there. And some of my celery has the leaves on the end, and that's great. I roasted it to give it flavor, because it has flavor, it has a lot of nutrients, even in the leaves. We don't need to waste. Look, I have a garlic. Oh, it's all roasted. Throw it in. Throw in the roasted celery, the onion. Guess what? Why do we keep skins on onion? Because a lot of nutrients come from the skins. They really do. So what I took is an onion, I washed it well, I sliced it in half and roasted it. And guess what? Bye-bye. It goes into the water. I have a shallot. It's only because I had it in the fridge, but imagine the flavor. A shallot is a combination of an onion garlic flavor that is delicious. So you throw it in. You throw in the onion. You throw in the charred celery, the carrots, and you're going to get a beautiful, carrot, look, roasted carrot. Woo! I'm throwing this all in because guess what? It's all going to add delicious flavor and nutrients to our bone broth. Now, I'm not able or wanting to roast vegetables. All I did was put a bit of oil and salt and pepper and throw it in the oven for 40 seconds. Yeah, right. That wouldn't do it. 40 minutes. And guess what? It was charred and it brings out the sweetness. That's what I love about roasting. You know what? So many people say, oh, I hate Brussels sprouts. And guess what? You put them in the oven and roast them at a 400-degree temperature oven with some herbs and spices. There's so many ways of doing it with a bit of oil, and it comes out so sweet that I've turned so many people from from haters or like ugh, because all they had or knew about is boiled, and to like, this is delicious. So I promise you, there are ways of doing things where it's actually appealing to the palate, and there's ways of doing things that will enhance the flavors and make it taste so good. But about this bone broth, so what I did is I have this double boiler, and this comes out. So when it's time to strain, so I have cold water, when it's time to strain, I can get the bones, I can get all the veggies I put in there and filter it out. And if there's still cloud or it's still not clear or appetizing, I also, what I use, this is a bag. Here, got it going. This is a bag I use to do my nut milks. Believe it or not, you might think almond milk, soy milk, and all these milks are way complicated to do. I promise you they're not. This is one of the bags I use that are, it's so effective because when I make my almond milk as an example, I mean, I can go and get a 2-quart almond milk. You know how expensive it is? It's so expensive. And they put less amount, like their concentration of almonds isn't even that great. So guess what? I do my own almond milk. I go grab my amazing Vitamix. I have my Vitamix over there in the corner. I put a certain amount of almonds to a certain amount of filtered water. I put a date or two, some vanilla, fresh organic vanilla, and boom, you put it on pulse, and you got almond milk. Of course, you strain it through here, and that's where the almond milk comes from. And guess what? It's pennies versus dollars for what you get in the grocery store, and it's way more nutritious. So when it comes to my bone broth, after I've boiled it, even though I will strain it up here with the double boiler, I will, if there's impurities and anything cloudy, I will feed it through this bag, because it will take everything away that you just don't want. After you boil, so after I'm going to take the meat off my chicken, I put the veggies in the broth. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons because of the quantity of soup, and I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. And I promise you, you will understand that apple cider vinegar will pull out all the nutrients of those bones. With time and simmering, it will pull out the collagen that you want for healthy joints, your bones, and healing properties when you drink this broth to heal and nourish the gut, which is our second brain. It really, really is. Whenever I fed my gut things that were not good for it, I felt it in my emotional well-being, in my physical well-being. So I promise you, taking care of our gut is so important, because it is also taking care of our brain, our anxiety, and everything that depression, everything that goes along with it. So in that amount of water, and in that pot, I have 24 cups of water. So I put the bones, I have the veggies. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and I'm gonna let it sit in the cold water for about a half an hour. Then I'm gonna turn on the burner and let it start to get to a rapid boil. And when it reaches a rapid boil, I'm gonna slow it down and lower the temperature to the bare minimum. And bare minimum means a little bubble that you don't need to babysit, you don't need to worry about. It's not anything you need to stir or to care about. Just enjoy the smell in the home of comfort and soothing, and walk away. You can put a lid on and leave just leave it offset a little. I promise you, it doesn't need to be taken care of. The longest you want to boil your bone broth, which is the bones, the veggies, is the shortest amount of time is 12 hours. The longest I've done for chicken, poultry bones is 24. If you're doing beef bones, you want to do it for 48 hours, very low and slow. And yes, you can do it in a crock pot, you can do it in the Instapot. I do it here. If you're not comfortable in having it low and slow overnight while you're sleeping, which I've done over and over again, and everything is fine, I'm still here. When you're about to go to sleep, turn it off, put it in your fridge, and continue and resume the time the next day. You don't need to babysit it. You don't need to take care of it. And I promise you, what you're gonna end up with is a bone broth, and it helps the immune system. So for this chicken, again, 12 to 24 hours. The minimum, the least amount of time is 12 hours simmering. You're gonna get collagen, you're gonna get so many nutrients, so many minerals leaching into your beautiful broth. So many benefits from soothing and from healing the gut. And I can tell you that I ruined my gut with opiate addiction. I abused myself royally. It took years, but using so many strategies, including bone broth, I started healing myself little by little. Another thing, I mean, if you make a big batch, such as I am, of bone broth, you could actually freeze or put it in your fridge. And what I've done is easy. On Amazon, I purchased, these are 32-ounce glass jars. So I could fill them up and put them in my fridge or freezer for future use to make a beautiful, healing mama's chicken soup. You know, we all love our chicken soup when we're sick, or when we want to boost our immune. You could put vegetables of whatever your heart's desire. In my fridge, when I have made this bone broth, I have parsnips. You could put turnips. You could put carrots and potatoes and celery, and there's also ways of doing just mushroom and miso, which is very gut healing, and shiitake mushrooms, very beneficial for healing properties. So you can put them in the fridge or freezer with these glass jars. Or guess what? Simple. I got these from Amazon. Look, they're the coolest, biggest ass ice cube trays. These are 8-ounce portions, and I can fill them, put the lid on, throw them in the freezer, and I know that whenever I need them for whatever purpose, I want to drink them, I want to make a beautiful comforting stew, a soup, I want to make rice. I can use it for stock, for boiling rice. I have perfectly portioned 8-ounce portions, and these were easy to buy. They're on Amazon. So I do that, and honestly, the properties, the benefits, the value of bone broth is incredible, especially now. We're at home. We're quarantined, we're isolated from the world. We have to build our immune system. Make a bone broth. We're isolated, we have so much time on our hands, we're like bored. Make a bone broth. We want to have something of comfort. Make a bone broth and make your most favorite stew or chicken soup that your grandma or mom made from that bone broth that has so many nutrients. Boil. What I'm gonna do now is boil this low and slow for at least 24 hours. That's my preference, because then I leach everything I want from those bones. And guess what? I prepared this. Look, it's on a string. Woo! This is herbs. Herbs are very important for flavor and for so many health benefits. In this beautiful pile of herbs, I have dill. I love dill. I have cilantro and parsley. You can put whatever you like. You might not like what I like, and it's okay. Think outside the box. I can give you a recipe, and I love my recipe. However, if you want to tweak it to make it using your own preference and herbs and flavorings that you like, go ahead. It's totally fine. So I don't put this right at the beginning of the 12 or 24 hours, because I find if you put this in the water 1 hour before you're going to take it off the stove, for that hour you're going to get the fresh, vibrant flavors and the nutrients of these herbs shining through. And I put them on a string because what I'm going to do when it's time, 1 hour before I'm going to remove it off simmer, is I'm going to tie it to the handle and dunk it in. So when it's time, I can take it out and it's easy. I'm not always fishing for leaves and residue. You might still have some, but that's okay. You can strain it. So my goal today is to say, let's all be safe. Let's all be healthy and strong and be as positive, because there's a lot going on, a lot of panic and worry, and justifiably so. Absolutely. However, what helps me get through my day and my goal is to stay focused on the things I can control. I can control this. I can bring some messages to you and bring my light, my heart and soul to you. I can't control all the other stuff, and I don't want to get bogged down and depressed and frustrated. So I'm putting certain practices in place in order to be strong, to be positive, and to know we have a future, and that I'm going to focus on what I can do to contribute to our future, to our world. And my light, my name in Hebrew means my light, and that's been my goal all my life, is to bring my light, myself, my light, Orly, my light to darkness, to everybody's darkness. And I can tell you with all honesty, I have had issues with opiate addiction, and that's been a huge issue all over the world. I got caught because a doctor and a specialist and so many others prescribed pain meds to beat my chronic pain, to deal with it. They didn't tell me the severity and the seriousness, but you know what? When I started using it and following their direction, because I thought that's my doctor, that's my specialist who's had years of training, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna follow their guidance. But I got so lost in addiction because I started using it for legitimate reasons, but then it led to using it when I was in emotional pain, when I was feeling weak and I needed a boost, when I felt taking opiates that I felt truly a false sense. I call it false sense now, but I felt a true false sense of being normal. And I say that now because then I felt normal and I just wanted it more and more. And my body, my organs, gets into your organs, your bloodstream, everything. It takes over. And this isn't only with opiates, it's with any substance. It's almost like you don't have your true will, your confidence, and your discipline to move forward. It's completely in the grips of whatever substance you've introduced to your body. And opiates took over. They just didn't take over my emotional and pain. It took over, it got into the cells, my organs. Every time I tried to slow down and stop, I was so sick that the pain of illness and sickness was worse, that I ran back to feel better and to feel again that beautiful feeling. So I get it. I truly understand. I'm not there anymore, but it was years of implementing so many strategies and skills and tools. It wasn't an easy journey, but it's a process. And then when I accepted the process and accepted that this is what it takes to keep moving forward and be resilient, I made that commitment. Even though I fell and I went back up and I fell, I realized what mattered most was that I kept getting up. And that's what gave me the encouragement and the strength. So today, as we are going through a very uncertain time in many people's lives. It's scary, it's worrisome, jobs, so much uncertainty. I just want to bring forward a beautiful, nourishing option, because bone broth is healing, it is nourishing, and it reminds you of a comforting meal that you had probably as a child. And also, you know what? I walk into the stores now, the racks are empty. They really are. So you want to go get bone broth to do whatever, it ain't happening because the racks are empty. But then just think about it. Buy yourself a chicken, buy yourself some carrots, celery, onions, whatever you'd like for the broth. And it's so much cheaper than paying for a bone broth in a carton that's on average $6 a piece. And this is nourishing. It's going to give you the strength mentally, physically. It's going to give you the nutrients, and it can help you heal. And it will comfort you, because we all need comfort now. That I know. So thank you for listening. I want to tell you, like I said, in this big ass pot is 24 cups of water. Don't worry, there's no exact measurements. On my website, I did put the recipe, but all I threw in here was a whole bunch of carrots, a whole bunch of celery, a bulb of garlic that I roasted. I even threw shallots that I don't always put in there. I just threw whatever. And in a minute, I'm gonna de-meat this chicken. I'm gonna throw in the bones. I'm gonna let it sit for a half an hour, and then I'm gonna start the simmering process. I'm gonna get it to a rapid boil, slow it down to a very low simmer, let it go. Me personally, I love 24 hours. But at 12 hours, if you want it, absolutely, it has a lot of nutritional value. And don't forget that the most important thing is to add, at least for this quantity, at least 2, maybe 3, because I have 24 cups of water, tablespoons of apple cider vinegar to get the nutrients and the value out of those bones. That's the key. And simmer low and slow. Thank you for watching. I hope this was educating, interesting. I just want everybody to keep safe, to be healthy, and to also realize that we all have limitations. Mine, I can't see, I'm blind, but everybody has limitations. Let's realize that our limitations are totally keeping us from moving forward because of our thought process, our limited thinking, not our actual limitations. It's our brain. It took me a lot to get to that point, to realize and to say, Orly, get the hell out of your brain, get into your heart, start feeling, and things will flow. And it is flowing. I've been creative. Cooking is my creative outlet. Get out of your limited thinking and realize your limits are your limited thinking, not your limitations that you perceive them to be. Thank you. Be well, be safe, and I hope you subscribe to my YouTube channel, because there's a lot to come. And my website is Nourished by Light. Thank you.